Hi people and how my Chili Con Carnage crew, it's Chili here from Live Listen a Race, and we're doing a special episode. We're talking about the highly anticipated albums for 2025 that have either been announced or are in works anyway. They might have tentative dates, for example, and you'll see this later on in the episode. But without further ado, we're going to jump into the first album here, which is going to be talking about Dream Theater's album Parasomnia, where they have already released a few singles from the record and has, of course, it's been sounding very interesting. It's also going to be the first record that has the return of Mike Portnoy on here, and is going to be a very, very big album for, of course, progressive metal fans out there, myself included. I gotta say, they got a tall order to follow up their last album, which was A View from the Top of the World, which was released back in 2021, because that record was simply amazing, and I think it was the best of that era of the band. So here is going to be an interesting record, and I am very keen to see what happens about it. That release date is going to be the 7th of February. Keep an eye out, we will be doing a review on that one. The next record that'll be coming out is actually on the same day, and it's going to be Ginger's record Jewel. I hope I pronounced that right because it seems to have weird symbols all around it. I could be mispronouncing this one. And of course, the band is from, where is it from? Ukraine. Of course, how can I forget that? And, Ginger is one of these exciting acts that has just shot up through the years. So it's very interesting to see what the band are going to be doing, and their just take on metal has been insane. I actually caught them live a couple of years ago for the Good Things Festival, or at least the end of their set. They were just simply phenomenal to watch from the distance, and they left quite an impact, I guess you could say. So that is actually going to be released on the same day as the Dream Theater record we just talked about earlier. That is the 7th of February. So let's really keep an eye out for that one. Of course, again, I'm going to be doing a review on that one. Pretty much every one of these I'm going to be doing a review on. So, that's going to be another big record that'll come up in the future as well. Following up from there, we have Neil Young's record Ocean Countryside, which is going to be an interesting one because, I always get worked up when it comes to Neil Young records. I have this, highly ambitious idea of what a Neil Young album is going to be like. I can't wait, for all the records that he's done. And while the last couple that he has released, which have mostly been from the archives anyway, have been a mixed, I guess, bag of goodies. Like, we've had some great records, Chrome Dreams, for example, finally being released. We've also received a lot of crap out there in the last couple of releases as well. Stuff that I just really didn't care about. But that's what it's like being a Neil Young fan. We're going to get probably 5 albums a year, but at the end of the day, we can't guarantee they're all amazing. There's reasons why some of these were outtakes and never used on the original albums in the first place. So I haven't actually read into this one here, being Ocean Countryside. I don't know if it's new material or if it's from the vaults, I guess you could say. But I will be very eager to hear it when it comes out, none other less. And that's going to be released on the 14th of February. So let's keep an eye out on that one there. Up next, we're going to have, of course, Killswitch Engage's album. Oh my god, I can't wait for this one. This Consequence, and that is going to be released on the 21st of February. I've already seen the artwork for it, and I don't know, it kind of reminds me of something like Warhammer 40k or something like that. It's just got such a weird mechanic, it's just got this weird mecha album artwork that I can't really describe any further. Um, and it also, I wanted to make a note here. Like, don't know if this is too noteworthy, but the album's artwork contains a logo font which has changed compared to the previous ones. So if you notice and go throughout the past, you've got the original Killswitch Engage logo. I think they changed it up back in the 2016 record that I can't think of. And while Atonement was an amazing album, which is going to be once again the big follow up. If you look at the logo for Killswitch Engage, it's like all in cursive. It's like Parkway Drive or something like that. It just looks rather odd. So every time I saw the artwork, I didn't put two and two together. I always thought it was a different band because they had that different kind of logo to it. So I don't know if you call it noteworthy, but I'd certainly say it's intriguing or interesting to take a note of anyway. To up here in the dome. But I just listened to the new track this morning, and damn is it heavy, damn is it good. I can't wait to hear the record when it comes out. Again, that record will be coming out on the 21st of February, so we're going to keep our eyes peeled for that one. Can't wait to play it, so it should be good. Another one that'll be coming out here in March, this will be, is Spiritbox Tsunami Sea. And this is going to be a very interesting record because, Spiritbox, they departed, of course, from their old bass player. And I really thought that they suffered a fair bit when it came to their last album, which was the EP, what was it, Jaded. And I thought it was a bit of a step down, if you will, even. So I don't, and that's obviously because their bass player from back in the Eternal Blue album, he did just fantastic, and he took his inspiration from Ryan Martini from Mudvayne, and if you're unaware, I think he actually passed away recently. I might be remembering this wrong, but I'm sure I heard news that he had passed away. So I'm just having a little quick search while we're talking about this record. But of course, Spirit Box is a massive band of late, and it's interesting to see. So that's Ryan Lorick, I think is his pronunciation. I cannot remember, but yeah, it says here, yeah, he passed away just last year. It's unfortunate to hear about that. And I think he was a really big presence within the early album of Eternal Blue. So it's going to be interesting to see if the new bass player can come into his own, really make himself. Because it looks like here, Josh Gilbert is his name. I wasn't impressed by his last works, and I thought that it was rather bland. You need someone who can hold their own within the band, because yeah, it shone through, I guess, on Eternal Blue very well, and it was a perfect mashup of stuff. You can call it new metal, which I really wouldn't agree with, but I wouldn't say it's too far from it. It's more like new metal core, I guess, at the end of the day. And so Spirit Box and their new album is going to be certainly one that I'm hotly anticipating for this year, and that is going to be coming out. I think it's on March the 14th. 14th of March that will come out. Keep an eye on that one. But on the same day as that record coming out, we're going to have Steven Wilson of Porcupine Tree fame releasing a solo album called The Overview. And that is going to be color me intrigued for it because, his previous record was really good. That was what was it, the tightrope, the tight wire. I can't recall now. It's that bluish looking hue, and that one was like him more jumping back into the prog rock elements as opposed to Future Now or whatever that one was, which was a terrible electronic affair. So I hope he continues down the old school path of just being prog rock and doing what he does and doing what he cares about. Because at the end of the day, if he decides to take on Future Embrace or Future Nows or whatever that album was and goes down the electronic path again, I'm going to be bored shitless with this album. Sorry to say, Steven Wilson, I just don't appreciate your electronic side. So it would be very interesting. I haven't heard anything from the album as of yet, and it is a few months away. So yeah, again, very interesting. Love to hear Steven's works. Most of what he's done has been amazing with bar a couple of records here and there, and that's even with Porcupine Tree as well, as including his solo stuff. So yeah, it should be very interesting to see that. Again, that is going to be the 14th of March when it is released. So we're going to be keeping an eye out, keeping our ears ready for that one there. Definitely a big one. And speaking of big, hard, and heavy, that was not exactly a good time, was it? We're going to have The Darkness and their really piss poor named album, Dreams on Toast. I don't even know what to say about that at the end of the day. It just sounds like the worst sounding record title I've heard in a long time. That is going to be coming out on the 28th of March. But if it's anything like their previous album, we should expect really good things because, their previous works was amazing. Flew under the radar, I feel, of a lot of people. But, just simply a great hard rocking act. Yeah, look, they're not, they're nowhere near the success, of course, of what they saw from their debut album, far from its graces. But I feel like they're one of the hardest working bands out there at the moment, still putting out great albums. But it's, I guess, they've fallen down and they've plateaued, and I think they're doing quite well at that level. I think that's perfect for where they are, for where they are and where they should be, because you probably don't want to see. Look, I think they have what it takes to do arena performances, but I think if you're going to see the Darkness, you really would rather see them in a smaller setting because they thrive in that kind of environment as well. That's just my take, I guess, on the Darkness. But as I said, the previous record they released, Motor Breath or Motor whatever it was, City something, was an amazing album. I've done a review on that. That was released a couple of years ago now, and Pure Mint, great record, just balls to the wall. It's a short album as well, so go and listen to it. So yeah, this something about Toast record, stupid sounding name, Dreams on Toast, is certainly going to be one I'm going to be keeping an eye out for as well. That is going to be released on the 28th of March. So yeah, that caps it off for albums that have at least release dates according to Wikipedia. And now we move into the realm of albums that are tentatively going to be released in this year. No release dates confirmed. and this could be, it could even be a couple of albums that are released in early next year. But let's start off with Testament, one of the bands that would be considered, I guess, one of the finest thrash metal acts of the 80s, and certainly the second era of thrash metal bands that came out of the San Francisco Bay Area. So Testament is going to be releasing a new album, and that is going to be awesome because Testament do some incredible works, and just their past couple of records have been great, fantastic to listen to, and especially lately I've been jumping back into their beginning, their early days records, even up to like Demonic and those records from Low and stuff like that. I've been jumping back into it and listening to it, going, damn, yeah, they got some killer tunes, even though some of those records many might consider as mixed bags or not as good as. I still listened to them, and I still went back, I should say, to go and listen to them and said, yeah, they've got some good hooks in here and some great tunes there. So I think they've got, especially in their more recent times anyway, they've come back to the fold, and we're going to see some interesting shit coming out of that band camp. So yeah, Testament is going to be a big one, I feel. I know a lot of people will murder me if I don't say this next band, and it's going to be Chevelle, however you pronounce this one. This is a band that I must admit I'm not a big fan of, but I know a lot of people have. It's like a cult following of a band because a lot of people love them and their music, and But for me, I've just never been big on. So I'm very curious when they are going to release this new record. Will it turn me into a fan of theirs? Because I've listened to their music and I found it interesting. Yeah, they got some nice songs, but I've just never really been wowed. I've never had that oh shit moment. I guess you could say, and I don't know. I don't think there's much more I can add to it. I know a lot of people just say, oh, they're just like Deftones. I don't hear it. I don't hear the Deftones in Chevelle. I just want to put that on the record. I don't think, like, if this is your idea of what Deftones sound like in another band, then what the bloody hell, And I just don't see the comparisons, is what I'm trying to say. I think there's other ones at the end of the day. So yeah, it's I think as well we're going to also see. Well, speaking of Deftones, I should say, it's also going to be Deftones. This is the most anticipated album I'm going to see of 2025. Fingers crossed, this record sees the light of day this year anyway. And we're talking Deftones' newest album, which is going to be a very interesting record. They always, they take their time when they go to make records. While many people might consider Ohms a better, well, at least better than say Gore. I thought both records are good. Of course, Gore has its issues, but I thought Ohms was a really awesome record, and this one is going to certainly be a big presence for many different reasons. Because I guess we're going to be seeing a band that has been on the circuit for 30 odd years nearly, or more than that actually, more than 30 years. Do they still have it? Can they still go on with their sound? Is it going to be heavy? Because there's a lot of stuff, in the band camp. What is it? Sergio was fired, I think. So I don't know who the bass player is at the moment. There's also, of course, Abe not wanting to do live touring anymore, which is annoying to hear. But, at the end of the day, look, you're able to make your own decisions on that. So I'm definitely going to say, like, as far like I won't go too much into this one, but yeah, Deftones' newest record. I think it will come out, and I think it'll be right towards the end of the year. It's definitely going to be the most anticipated album from me, and all of the records I've just mentioned, that is going to be the one I want to see the most. But tell me below, people, what is the record that you want to see the most, or want to listen to the most at the end of the day? Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Did you agree with these ones? Is there any more you want to add? Anyway, take it easy, and have a great day, and stay spicy out there, everyone.
If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to us, and stay notified for future music related content because it keeps our manager happy at the end of the day. We are also on Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and all those other social platforms if you want to check us out. As always, people, you have a great day and stay spicy.